So hello dear students, today again we would be moving ahead in this chapter number first, that is nutrition in plants. So here again today we are going to talk about the symbiosis, about which we have talked in the previous lecture, where I have told you the relationship between the rhizobium bacteria and the plants, because both are living together there. Okay, because the plants are providing shelter through the rhizobium bacteria. Let's say this is the plant and the root of the plants, so these roots are providing, this is the bacteria, so this bacteria is living in the roots of the plants. The plants are providing shelter to the bacteria here and food also, and in turn this bacteria is providing nitrogen to the plant. So this is a relationship here. So they are living together in a relationship. So this relationship is called the symbiotic relationship, so about which we are talking in detail today. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the symbiosis. Symbiosis. So if you see, you have many types of symbiotic relationships there. There are various types of symbiotic relationships. So if you see, there are various types of symbiotic. There are various types of symbiotic relationships, if you can see. Okay, so first one is like you have the mutualism. First one is mutualism. So in mutualism, both the organisms are getting the benefits, like in the case here, in the case of rhizobium bacteria in the plants. Okay, here rhizobium bacteria is living in the roots of the plants, so both are getting the benefit. Bacteria is getting the food from the plant and shelter also, and in turn this plant is also getting nitrogen from the bacteria. So means both are getting the benefit here, means both the organisms are benefited. So this type of relationship, symbiotic relationship, will be called the mutualism. Okay, so here both the organisms are benefited. Both the organisms are benefited here. Okay, for example, you can take the relationship between rhizobium bacteria and plants. You can say relationship between rhizobium bacteria and plants. And one more, you have a relationship between the fungus and the algae. Okay, this is the fungus and this is the algae. So this algae is providing food to the fungus, and in turn this fungus is providing minerals and nutrients to the algae. So this is again a symbiotic relationship, which is mutualism, means both the organisms are getting the benefit from each other. So here one more example, you have one relationship between relationship between fungus and algae. So this relationship is also coming under the mutualism. Okay, so second type of relationship which we are going to talk here, and that is the commensalism. So what is this commensalism all about? So here one species gets the benefit from the other, and the other organism does not get the benefit from the previous one. Okay, here let's say you have the two organisms here, they are living in a symbiotic relationship. So one organism is getting the benefit, okay, means this one is getting something from here, but this one is nothing getting from here. Okay, so this type of relationship will be coming under the commensalism. Means one organism is getting the benefit, but the other is not getting the benefit also and not being harmed also. Okay, they are living in a relationship, so it has not any harm for that. Yes, it is living in a relationship, and only this he is getting the benefit and he is not getting the benefit. It is not being harmed also and not being helped also. Okay, so this type of relationship is called the commensalism. Here only one organism getting the benefit from the other and the other is not. Here only one organism gets the benefit and the other neither gets benefit nor harmed also. It neither gets the benefit, neither gets benefit, benefit nor harmed also. Mean neither it is getting any benefit nor it is being harmed also, but the first one is getting the benefit. Okay, so this relationship will be coming under the commensalism. Like when the orchids are going in the plants, in the trees. Okay, like example I am taking here, orchids in the tree. Here the orchids are getting benefit from the plants because the orchids are grown in the plants. Here you have the plants and the orchids are grown in the plants like this. These are the orchids which are grown in the plants. So these orchids are getting benefit from the plants and the plant is not getting any benefit from the orchids. But it is not getting benefit also, but it is not being harmed. It has not any harm there. It will not say that yes, you are harming me. Okay, means the plants are not being harmed also in this case. Okay, so this type of relationship will be coming under the commensalism. Okay, so this was the second type of relationship. Now we will move towards the third type of symbiotic relationship, and that will be what? Can you tell me? Yes, parasitism. That is parasitism. Parasitism. Third one that is parasitism. So what is parasitism all about? Here, suppose let's say you have the two organisms. So one organism is getting the benefit from the other. Means like here, this is, let's say this is the mosquito. Okay, female Anopheles mosquito. This female Anopheles mosquito is getting blood from the human because they are cutting the human beings and they are getting the blood out of that. Okay, so this is, let's say this is the female Anopheles mosquito. So this is getting the blood from the human, and in turn the humans are getting any benefit from the mosquito? No, they are being harmed. How they are being harmed? Because the blood which was there in the human being, this blood, they are that blood, they are sucking the blood. Okay, so human beings are harmed here. So these are harmed, these are benefited. Okay, so here one organism getting the benefit and other organism is harmed also. He is, yes, he is losing something now. He is giving the blood to the mosquito. So that is why the other organism is being harmed, but the first one is getting the benefit. So this type of relationship will be called the parasitism. Are you getting this? Parasitism. Here one of the organism gets the benefit and the other is harmed and the other one is harmed. So this type of relationship will be called the coming under the parasitism. Like example, relationship between female Anopheles mosquito and human. Okay, here humans are being harmed and mosquito is getting the benefit. Okay, means it gets the blood from the human. Okay, so this was the third type of relationship, that was the parasitism. Now next one will be the fourth one, that is neutralism. This type of relations, neutralism. So what is this neutralism all about? Neutralism means, like say we have two organisms here. So this organism will not get any benefit from there, and this organism will also not get any benefit from there, but they are living together. They are living, both are living together, and both are not getting any benefit from each other. So this type of relationship will be coming under the neutralism. Here you have two organisms. So this organism is nothing getting from it gets from the other one, and the other one nothing it gets from the previous one. Okay, so this type of relationship will be coming under the neutralism. So here I am writing, here both the organisms live together, but they are neither benefited nor harmed. Here both the organisms live together, but they are neither benefited nor harmed. HARMED, neither harm. So this type of relationship will be coming under the neutralism. And now the last one, which we are, the next one, that will be the fifth one. This we are going to talk here, that is amensalism. Amensalism, AMENSALISM, amensalism. So what is this relation, amensalism? So this is the relation in which one of the species is being harmed and the other remains neutral. Like these are the two species, organisms living together, and this is being harmed. This one is the organism which is harmed by this one. This is being harmed, and this one is neutral. It is not being harmed also. Means, like here, one of the species, like you have the two species here, two organisms here. So first one organism is being harmed by the other one, and the other one, it is not, neither it is being harmed nor it gets benefit from the first one. It is neither it is being harmed and not it is getting any benefit from the previous one. So this type of relationship will be coming under the amensalism. Okay, here in this relationship, in this symbiotic relationship, the first one organism it is being harmed by the other one. Okay, and the other organism, it is not being harmed by the first one also, and neither it gets any benefit from the first one also. So this one relationship will be called the amensalism. Okay, here one of the organism is being harmed and the other one remains neutral. Remains neutral means neither it is being harmed nor it is getting any benefit, but the first one is being harmed. Okay, so this was the fifth one type of relationship, symbiotic relation, that was the amensalism. Now we'll be moving towards the next one, that is competition. That will be the sixth one. Sixth one is competition. Competition. So this is, it's again a relationship. Here you have two organisms. So suppose they are living together. So in this relationship, this one organism is harming this, and this one organism is also harming. Means both the organisms are harming each other. So means both are adversely affected. Like you and me. Like suppose I am here, you are there, and we are living together. I am beating you and you are beating me. Means we both are being harmed. I am beating you and you are beating me. So we both are being harmed. So but still we are living together. So this type of relationship will be coming under the competition. Okay, are you getting this? So let me erase this. Here both the organisms are being harmed. Here both the organisms are being harmed. So this type of symbiotic relationship will be coming under the competition. Okay, now we would be moving towards the next, and it will be very important one, and that is the difference between the manures and the fertilizers, that we would be talking now. Difference between the manures and fertilizers. It's very important topic again. Write the heading now. Difference between manures and fertilizers. Okay, so basically, in short, you can see fertilizers, you are getting these fertilizers from the shop, and manures which you are just producing at your home with the help of your cow dung, okay, with the help of the animal waste, or you can say any other organic organic products. So with the help of these you are making the manures, but fertilizers we are getting it from the shop. Okay, this is the basic difference I'm just telling you, but in detail we are going to talk about it. That is first the manures, and here we write the fertilizers. Okay, so let's write the difference between these two. So manures, if I say manures, these are organic in nature. Okay, they are produced with the help of the cow dung and the animal wastes. Okay, here I'm writing, these are organic in nature and produced with the help of cow dung and animal waste. Okay, well, if I talk about the fertilizers, so these are not organic in nature, they are but some are human made also, some are natural also. These are either human made or natural. Okay, either these are human made or natural. Now if I talk about the manures, they are very you can say economical in nature, means they are very cheap. You can say economical in nature. How economical in nature? Because only with the help of cow dung and the animal waste you are making, means nothing you are wasting, nothing you are just spending here. Okay, you do not require any money to purchase these manures, so it's very economical. Okay, but in case of fertilizers you need rupees, you need means you need to purchase these fertilizers. Okay, you need to be, so it means they are costly. You can write here, they are costly. Fertilizers are costly. Now third one basic difference is, if you see, these manures affect only the humus. Humus means, let's say this is the soil. This is the soil. Okay, so soil has many layers. The up one layer will be called the humus. The up one layer means the uppermost layer of the soil is called the humus. This one layer is called the humus, and there are many other layers down to this also. If we talk about these manures, this manure affects only the upper layer of the soil. It affects only the upper layer of the soil. But if we talk about these fertilizers, it does not affect only the upper layer, rather it affects the other layers also of the soil. So that is why when you are using the fertilizers, the fertility of the soil becomes more. So when you are using the fertilizers on the field, the crops that is being grown in the field is more now in case of the fertilizers. but manures, they are affecting only the humus, that means the uppermost layer of the soil. So that is why in case of when you are using only the manures, so the fertility is not that much, means the crop that is being produced on the field is not that much. Okay, so that is also the basic difference between these two. So here I am writing, it affects only the humus. It affects only the humus, that is the uppermost layer of the soil. Uppermost layer of the soil. That is about the third one. Okay. Now if you talk about the fertilizers, so it does not affect only the humus, rather it affects the other layer also of the soil. It affects the other layer also. So that is why the fertility is more in case of the fertilizers. Okay, so this was the basic difference between the fertilizers and the manures. Okay, so write this. So now we would be moving towards the last section of this chapter. Okay, now suppose if you see, now the government is also running a program, you must have listened, that is Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. That is Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. So this is what? This also talks about exclusively about the organic farming. So nowadays, because while you are using the fertilizers, if you are using the fertilizers in the field, so let's say this is the field soil. So if you are using only the fertilizers in the field, so these fertilizers nowadays they are going to produce more and more crop. It's okay, but later in the long run they are going to affect the quality of the soil. Suppose right now you are just having the crop of wheat there on the field, and you have used too many fertilizers, so production of wheat is more and more. But in the next season, if you are again showing the seeds of wheat there, so again you are not going to get that much benefit, because the soil, the quality of the soil has been degraded. Okay, so that is why these fertilizers are affecting the quality of the soil also in the long run. So nowadays there is a term which talks about the organic farming, means we are not using the synthetic fertilizers, rather we are using the, what you can say, these organic fertilizers. Okay, so this is the term which is being talked about today. So fertilizers means organic fertilizers are being used, so about which the exclusively the government is running a program that is Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. So under this program also the government is talking about the organic farming. So through this, with the help of this organic farming, or with the help of using these organic fertilizers, they are again they are replenishing the quality of the soil. So it talks about the replenishing. It talks about the replenishing the quality of the soil. Okay, so this replenishing the quality of the soil is only through the organic farming. What happens? Let's say this is the mountain. Okay, and in the mountain the rivers are flowing from the mountain to the plains. Okay, and here you have the soil, and the up one layer of the soil which is very fertile, that is the uppermost layer, which is called the humus layer. So when the river is flowing from the mountains to the plains, so the up one layer, that is humus layer, the soil from the up one layer is being drawn away by the river to the plains. It so means the quality of the soil, because the up one layer was very fertile here in the mountains, so has been drawn away by the river to the plains. So now the soil which is left here is not that much fertile. So to replenish the fertility of the soil, so we are using here the organic farming. So organic fertilizers we are using again here, so that the fertility of the soil can be raised. So that is known as the replenishment of the soil. And the soil, or the humus layer, or the soil which has been drawn away by the river from here, so this drawing away of the soil, or the uppermost layer of the soil from the mountains to the plains is called the soil erosion. Okay, so these are some terms which I have talked here, not very important for your class right now, but in the classes ahead these topics are more important. Okay, but still we would be talking about these topics in detail in the chapters ahead. Okay, till then stay tuned and keep watching our channel, and do subscribe to our channel. And if you have any suggestions or any comment, so please comment in the comment box below. Okay, so we will be happy to resolve it. Okay, so okay then, have a nice day.